the digital diet, or digital diet, that is the title of this passage. We have questions 1 to 6. I call these questions matching names or matching features. Okay? And then questions 7 to 10, we have true, false, not given. Questions 11 to 14, we have gap filling questions. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to solve the matching names first. Then after that, I'll solve the true, false, not given. Then I'll solve the gap filling. Okay? So I will scan for the names, find out what the passage says about the names, and then I will match to the appropriate statement. So let me start with Jonathan Kumi. That is the first name on the list. I can see Jonathan Kumi in paragraph A. So it says that in 2005, the computers of the world ate up 123 billion kilowatt hour of energy, a number that will double by 2010 if present trends continue, according to Jonathan Kumi, a staff scientist at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. Okay, so this person is saying that the power consumption of computers will double by 2010. Okay, let me check the statements. Figuring out a way to optimize, no. Revolutionary improvement, no. Targeting, developing, no. Outstanding estimate on energy to be consumed by computer, yes. Number 4. Number 4 is matched to A. Number 4 is matched to A, Jonathan Kumi. Next paragraph. Is there any name in the next paragraph? There's no name there. Paragraph C. Is there any name in paragraph C? I can see Bill Well. Bill Well is option D. For this Bill Well to be showing up here, I shall have seen Alison Klein. Let me go back. Jonathan Kumi. There's no other name here. Wow, this is unusual. Alright, let's see what does Bill Well say. But to deliver web pages within seconds, a firm must maintain hundreds of thousands of computer servers in cavernous buildings. It is a good thing to worry about server energy efficiency, remarks Google's green energy SAR, Bill Wen. Read what he said again. It is a good thing to worry about server energy efficiency. It says we are actively working to maximize the efficiency of our data centers, which account for the most of the energy Google consumes worldwide. Okay? I'm seeing another thing here at the bottom. Google will funnel some of its profits into a new effort dubbed REC, for renewable energy cheaper than coal, as Google translates it, to make sources such as solar thermal, high altitude wind and geothermal cheaper than coal within years, not decades, according to Well. Okay? Number 1 says figuring ways to optimize the utilization of energy in certain significant departments in the company. Optimize utilization of energy. This one is saying that we are actively working to maximize the efficiency of our data centers. That sounds like number 1. Number 1 can be matched to D. Number 1 can be matched to D. The instruction says we may use a letter more than one. So let me check other statements. Number 2 cannot be matched. Number 3, targeting alternative. Yes, alternative. Hold on. Targeting and developing alternative sources. This sounds like alternative sources. Solar, thermal, high altitude wind. Well, let me match number 3 to be well. I think be well is D, yeah. Then, any other one? Let's look at the remaining paragraphs. I can see Pat Tierman. Is Pat Tierman on the list? That's option C. Okay, what did Pat Tierman say? Such virtualization has allowed computer maker Hewlett Packard to consolidate 86 data centers spread throughout the world to just 3, with 3 backups, says Pat Tierman, the firm's vice president of social and environmental responsibility. Such virtualization has allowed Hewlett Packard to consolidate data centers. Okay. Number 2 says a revolutionary improvement in a tiny but quite imperative component of the computer. Okay. Tiny but quite imperative component. He didn't mention anything about component here. Efforts to include cutting down on the number of transformation electricity itself must undergo. Rearranging stacks of servers and mechanics for their cooling. Using software to create multiple virtual computers. I'm not sure. Number 2. Number 5. A powerful technique developed for integration of resources. Wow. Number 6. A failure of the vast majority of computers to activate integration. This thing that says integration of resources. A powerful technique developed for integration of resources. I think that's sounding like what is in this paragraph. Because when you reduce 86 data centers to 3, that means you are integrating a lot of things. Okay, let me just pick Pat Tierman tentatively for option C for number 5. I'm not really sure of that number 5. Let me check any other name. Alison Klein. Is there Alison Klein on the list? Okay, option B. When we moved to multi-core away from a linear focus on megahertz and gigahertz and throttled down microprocessors, the energy savings were pretty substantial, says Alison Klein. Chip makers continue to shrink circuits on nanoscale. Hold on. But to save energy, chip makers such as Intel and AMD have shifted to so-called multi-core technology, which packs multiple processors into one circuit rather than separating them. So that's what Alison Klein's comment is based on. That's sounding like number 2. A revolutionary improvement in a tiny, that's chip. The chip is a tiny component of a computer. So that's going to be, number 2 can be matched to B, Alison Klein. Number 2 can be matched to B, Alison Klein. Then, next paragraph, any name here? I can't see any name in the next paragraph. Next paragraph, any name? I can see Klein here. Sleep modes and other power management tools built into most operating systems can offer savings today. Yet, about 90% of computers do not have such settings enabled, according to Klein. Properly activated, they would prevent a computer from leading to the emission of thousands of kilograms of carbon dioxide from power plants every year. Which statement? Number 6. A failure for the vast majority of computers to activate some internal tools. Yes, that's Klein. That's what I just read now. This place here. That's what he said. They are not activating the sleep mode of their computer. So that's going to be B. Number 6 is matched to B. There's a name I've not used though. I've used A, B, C, D. I've not used E. Alexander. The typical carbon footprint is roughly equivalent to 1.5 people breathing, says Alexander Wessner Gross. There's no statement that sounds like that. Hold on. Figuring ways to optimize utilization of energy in certain significant departments. Let me read the entire paragraph. CO2 Stat is a free tool that can be embedded into any website to calculate the carbon dioxide emission associated with using it. That estimate is based on assumption that 300 watts of power consumed by the personal computer, network, and servers involved, or 16 milligrams of CO2 emitted every second of use. This one is about calculating CO2 emission. It doesn't sound like any of the statements. It doesn't sound like any of the statements. Let me go on. Number 7 now. True, false, not given. To chill the server does not take up the considerable amount of energy needed for the computer. To chill the server. Where did I see server now? That place where they talked about Google. Oh, see Google here. Computer servers. But we didn't talk about chilling the servers here. To chill the servers means to cool down the servers. Okay, let me go back. 123 billion kilowatts of energy. Okay. To chill the servers. Oh, see this word there. But from the air conditioning needed to keep them from overheating. Can you see how they twisted the paraphrase there? To chill the server does not take up the considerable amount of energy needed. One of the biggest energy sinks comes not from the computers themselves, but from the air conditioning needed to keep them from overheating. No, this is not true. This is false. It takes up a considerable amount of energy. That thing says it's one of the biggest energy sinks. It says for every kilowatt hour of energy used for computing in a data center, another kilowatt hour is required to cool the server. This statement is false. Number 7 is false. Number 8, it seems that the number of servers has a severe impact on the speed of internet connection. Number of servers and then speed. Let me see. For internet giant Google, the reality has driven efforts such as installation of solar arrays. The issue of speed is not here. Speed. This issue of speed, I don't know, not given. Number 9, several companies from other fields have a joint effort with the internet industry to work on ways to save energy. Several companies from other fields. In the meantime, the industry, which industry? I'm guessing they are referring to the internet industry. As a whole has employed a few tricks to save watts. Efforts include cutting down on the number of transformations electricity must undergo. Okay. The industry is also tackling the energy issue at the computer chip level. Several companies from other fields. All these fields are still IT fields. With such chips, more personal computers will meet various efficiency standards. Okay. Google, Intel. Wow. This issue of other fields is my problem with number 9. Let me just pick not given for number 9. Number 10. Actions taken at a governmental level are to be expected to help with savings in energy in the future. Actions taken at the governmental level. Like I saw government somewhere. The federal government, led by agencies such as NASA and the Department of Defense, may soon require all their purchases to meet the electronic products environmental assessment tool standard. And Google, Intel, and others have formed the Climate Savers Computing Initiative, an effort to cut power consumption from all computers by 50%. Yeah, I think this number 10 is true. Hold on. And Google, this one is one connected to energy saving. This one here, where they wrote government, may soon require XYZ to purchase stuff. They didn't connect it to. Wow. Actions, let me look for any other part that talks about government. Paragraph G. I can't see anything about government in paragraph G. Paragraph H. I can't see government here in paragraph H. I've not used true. This is interesting. I think I'll pick true because of this particular, because this thing is somehow. And Google, Intel, and others. What's the meaning of others? Does others include governments? This is a tough one. I think I'll leave it as not given. Actions taken at a government level are expected to help save. Are expected to help with savings in energy. I'm not sure. But then, number 8, it seems that the number of servers has a severe impact on speed. Several companies from other fields. All right, number 11. The dash has also been reached to save up energy in every possible way. And the philosophy behind it lies in the fact that there is a positive correlation between ability to process and the need for energy. The dash has also been reached to save up energy. No more than 3 words. To save up energy. Let me go back to the top. The dash has also been reached. Okay. As a result, the power bill to run a computer over its lifetime, a business reason to cut energy costs. One of the biggest energy sinks comes from telecommuting, internet shopping, online meetings may save energy as compared with in-person alternatives. The dash has also been reached. One of the biggest energy sinks comes not from computers, okay? For internet giant Google, the reality has driven efforts such as installation of solar array, but to deliver web pages within seconds. Oh, hold on. Can you see this thing here? To deliver web pages within seconds. That's speed. Wow. Where is that one about speed? It seems that the number of servers has impact on the speed. Wow. Wow. That's true. Number 8 is going to be true. Can you see? I missed it earlier on. See paraphrasing. To deliver web pages within seconds, the firm must maintain hundreds of thousands of computer servers. All right, let me go back to my number 11. So, finally, I've seen true. Okay, so we're actively working to maximize efficiency. I'm reading from here. To make, okay, in the meantime, the industry as a whole has employed a few tricks. Efforts on cutting down on the number of transformations, okay. Such virtualization has allowed computer makers to consolidate. The industry is also tackling the energy issue at the computer chip level, with every doubling of processing power in recent years has come doubling in power consumption. But to save energy, Chip makers such as Intel and AMD have shifted to so-called multi-core technology, which packs multiple processors into one circuit. Okay. Continue to shrink circuits into nanoscale. Okay. With such chips, more personal computers will meet various efficiency standards, such as Energy Star compliance, which mandates that a desktop consume no more than 65 watts. The federal government, this number 10 may be true. Let me change it to true. The dash, what do I do with this number 11? I don't know. Let me check number 12. In this context, some firms have switched to dash, which means several processors are integrated into. Okay. Some firms have switched. Where is that place of several processors? Some firms have switched into multi-core technology. That's it. Multi-core technology. That should be number 12. Multi-core technology. Multi-core technology. Multi-core technology. Which means several processors are integrated into one single circuit to make significant. Yes, that one is, I think it should be multi-core technology. What's more, they go on to dash on an even more delicate level. They go on to dash on an even more delicate level for the chips to save more energy while staying at the constant level in terms of the dash. They go on to, what's more, they go on to, let me read closely. When we moved to multi-core away, away from a linear focus on megahertz and gigawatts and throttled down to microprocessors, I think this number 13 should be microprocessors, throttled down to, sounds like they go on to microprocessors. Microprocessors. I think processors as S. Yes. The energy savings were pretty substantial. Yeah, save more energy while staying at the constant level in terms of performance, delivers the same performance. Number 14 is going to be performance. Now, number 11. My answer should be somewhere here. The industry is also tackling the energy issue at the computer chip level. With every doubling of processing power. How many words? 3 words. The dash has also been reached to save up energy in every possible way. And the philosophy behind it lies in the fact that there is a positive correlation in the meantime. The industry as a whole has employed a few tricks to save watts. The efforts include cutting down on the number of transformations. It has to be a plural word. It has to be a singular word because of this word as, H-A-S. Okay? Before achieving the correct operating voltage. The correct operating voltage has also been reached. Correct operating voltage has also been reached. I think that's the answer to number 11. Rearranging the stacks of servers and the mechanics of their cooling and using their software. I think I'll just put that. I spent too much time on this particular passage. Almost 25 minutes. All right. Let me submit and see what my score is gonna be. Let's see what my score will be. 7.0. I got 3 questions wrong. Okay, that number 11 is wrong. It's telling me the answer should be correct operating volt. I'm sorry. The correct answer should be computer chip level. Computer chip, that question actually took a lot of my time. Number 12, multi-core technology. So they are adding so-called. I feel so-called is not compulsory. This word should not be compulsory. Number 13, shrink circuits. Wow, how? Let me check. How can number 13 be shrink circuits? Number 13. What's more, they go on to, shrink circuits on an even more delicate level. Oh, that's true. I agree. They go on to shrink more circuit. They go on to shrink circuits. Where is it? Let me show you. I think I saw that, but this gap filling was particularly stubborn. They go on to shrink circuits. Where is that shrink circuit? Look at it here. Chip makers continue to shrink circuits on a nanoscale. Can you see? Nanoscale. That's where they got the word from. Meanwhile, I picked, where is it now? I picked microprocessors. Can you see? I picked this one here. I picked this word here. Interesting. All right. I'm going to wrap it up on that. I spent so much time on this exercise. Thank you very much.